What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol TDOC for Teladoc Health. On the left-hand side, we do have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. So first thing I need to let you know is that in the after-hours session, they gave us an earnings announcement. So let's flip on the extended hours session and see what's going on with the numbers. So right out of the gates, without even zooming in, if I grab the right tool, you can see there's a fair bit of volatility, but it's very likely that we will open on a gap down for tomorrow's session. So in that case, we always like knowing where the overnight low is, down here around $130. And let's just say that the forecasted opening print will be here at 132.40. All right, that's what we want to know. We can turn that back off and focus in on the daily to talk about the potential scenarios on how this might unfold tomorrow morning. So remember that these numbers are subject to change by 9:30. The open will likely not be here at 132.40, but this is going to be a framework that you can apply to any gap situation. Okay, so if we open here, fail to take out the overnight low and trade back higher through the open, you're looking for the gap to fill. This is essentially what we call a gap and trap to the low of today's session. So we also want to know that number, and that's going to be, if we grab the other tool and try that one more time, we'll come in from here. That's going to be around 136.88. And this is certainly a reasonable range for this stock to put in. You can see that this is kind of on par with some of the other green candles that we've seen inside of Teladoc. So that could completely be on the table for tomorrow's session. The flip side of this coin, of course, is the gap and go. So if we open here, stay inside of this range and break down underneath the overnight low, that's where things open up to the downside and we start looking out for the gap and go, taking us to the next obvious daily support. That's going to be here, noting that we have a gap underneath us. Okay, so a double gap could kind of be in play. If we do this, bearish flag pattern or some sort of descending triangle in the morning, basically flush this overnight low, takes us to here, and again, you watch for the same thing. A little bit of support, breaks, and it should take us into 126.34. So very interesting downside target here inside of Teladoc if it wants to give us the gap and go. And noting that red days can generally be larger than green days, it's again on par with kind of what we've seen in here, in here, in here, and in here as well. So it could be on the table as a reasonable expectation for tomorrow's session. That's going to kind of wrap up the video. It's all going to depend on, again, do we get scenario number one where we get the gap and trap, fill the gap overhead, or do we get scenario number two where instead we see some downside continuation, in which case we have some solid targets mapped out. That's going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.